Hi, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a collective reading for the week of December 23rd through the 29th. This is a special week in the collective. We have 3 holidays that will be coinciding with this time frame. We have Christmas Eve with Christmas Day, along with Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. So wherever you are in the world, I send you spirit of peace and love and unity as you gather together with your friends and family and you celebrate this passage of another holiday season. I'm going to do something a little bit off course. Instead of doing a collection of different quotes or poets, I'm going to read from one particular book that a viewer had recommended a few weeks back. And please, if you are that viewer and you see this, please comment and I will tag you, because this book is yo, it's called The Prophetess, and pretty prophetic because Khalil Gibran, he wrote a long time ago, "A little while, a moment of rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me." He said this in The Prophet, and this is that woman, Chalan Harkin, the return of the prophet from the voice of the divine feminine. Let's see what she has to say. I've actually bookmarked 3 different passages with 3 different oracle cards that I have not looked at, that I'm actually going to be using for the January readings. This is the Queen of the Sun Oracle. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about who is this prophetess. She enters the room. This is poetry, just much like the prophet, but it's written in prose. So very fable-esque, if I can say that. Is that a word? And thank you for tuning in. I'm excited to get started, but I want to thank you for being here. Much love and respect on the path. All right. She. What was she? She was impossible for understanding to contain. She was not a fragment. She was entirety. And she directly and unswervingly spoke to and activated our entirety. She was the substance of mystery, the artisan of the new, the cartographer of consciousness. She challenged and confronted everything in our hearts that kept us apart from ourselves and enticed and galvanized us to enter the mapless wildlands of the new frontiers of love. That place our old ideologies could not chart. That place for which the guidance of the past could give us no assurance, and the place toward which we were irresistibly impelled. My God, realized the hearts in the crowd, gaping and stunned. The authority of love had returned as a woman. The prophetess has arrived. She spoke, and her voice was a cascade of stars. I bring in the wings of my chest, the time of the end. It is seated with the time of the new. To enter one is to enter both. The time of the end is the end of the belief of our unworthiness. It is the end of separation. I am here to chart the path from separation to wholeness. This is the age of reclamation. Nothing that I bring have you not asked for. I am not here to teach you. I am here to enunciate your knowing, to breathe confidence into the intimations in your soul. I am the manifestation of your hidden prayers. I am here to pour holy oil on your light. Old ways of being that no longer serve have made the world a tinderbox. It's time to set it aflame with the wild grace of the awakening truth in your hearts. I'm going to carry on. The next bit is about awakening. Speak to us of awakening, and the prophetess spoke. It's okay if you're scared when you're opening. The seed, she was scared too. Do you think the coal wanted to become a diamond? She was scared out of her wits of change. It took her 10,000 years to even be able to pray for it. The acorn was so closed in by the hard walls of his staunch beliefs. Oh, how he protested, becoming the regal, generous oak. Have you heard the caterpillar's shrieks of resistance as some bigger force unwelcomely impels it to eat its own form while disclosing nothing of those secret wings? The only difference in us from them is we have an even more stubborn resistance, but ultimately we're impelled by the same irresistible force to completely self-destruct into a new and improved, yet to be discovered marble. Do your best to allow this. You too were made for wings. And the last bit, which, y'all, I have to do this, spoken like a true Libran. This chapter, I've only read the first bits, a few more of the chapters beyond this one. But this one moved me so deeply. I want to share it fully with you. This is speaking from my Libran essence. This is the chapter on truth. Speak to us of truth. And the prophetess spoke. There are worn out social conventions that desperately need to be destroyed by whatever truth is in your heart. The specific flavor of truth tonic kept hidden in the apothecary of your chest is exactly the medicine this world needs. It is time to bring it forth. You, my dears, are good medicine, and the truths within you have been prescribed for this time. Truth is a sacred interruption of conditioned blindness. It empowers everyone and enables no one. Truth leverages nothing against anyone and calls people up into all they might be. We are all healers and creators by being our truest selves. Unspoken truth is at the base of all our relational pain. Unspoken truth is at the base of all worn out patterns we would rather maintain than transform. To bring truth forward moves us from self-preservation to self-transformation. It bursts through unstable foundations that could only hold the unsustainable. Truth is the supreme liberator, and what liberates one supports the liberation of all. To liberate means to free our hearts from the limited bondage of conditional love. What is unspoken within us contains us. Cultivate a thirst for truth that nothing else can slake. In alignment with our truth, the reeds of our destiny quiver with the music of the cosmos. The path of truth is our redemption, our renaissance, our resurrection, and our remaking. It clarifies our essence. Truth is unconquerable. It is powerful without any desire to overpower. And in its absolute dominion, it requires no defense. What is untruthful is unsustainable. For what is sustainable will last, and what will last will ascend. And what will ascend is the powerfully authentic expression of life that is beneficial to the flourishing of all. While truth can bring the discomfort of shaking you out of the comfortable narcotic of falsity, truth never harms. Truth restores us with the most personal and universal intimacy with our essence. This is my favorite quote so far in the book. Walk with truth and let others be invited to deepen themselves in their reception of you. We all need to take the sword of truth from its sheath of silence. It is time to slay illusion, not with violence, but with the blade of clarity, of discernment. Truth is ever only wielded in the name of and by the hands of love. Truth germinates our reality to break through the hard seed of our conditioning. It calls forth our potential. If love is the beauty of the flower, truth is the boldness that brings it to continuously reveal more of itself. Y'all, let this be a time of meditation of what truth and awakening means to you. And love. Let's see what these frequencies are for the week ahead. And let's call Spirit in. Spirit's always here, but let's call more of Spirit in, more fully. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading, for the collective. All right, first card. Reflection. Yeah, it is a period of reflection. This feels very Ten of Cups. A lot of these cards, they just have this beautiful, and this is the rainbow of truth. It shines upon us, right? When we are reflective and we feel like it's a time to cultivate more compassion, to reflect on the journey. It cuts right through the light, right? Look at it's cutting right through her consciousness. And it's pouring back in. Everything is you can there's water coming down because it's coming up. So there's a unity between the earth and the sky, our consciousness and our 3D reality. Number 41 brings down to 5. So this great change in the way we reflect. We are at a checkpoint at this time. We're thinking back a lot of us to where we were last year. I'll be honest with you. Personally, last year, I went through a breakup that blindsided me, but it set me free. And despite whatever suffering I had a friend that also passed. Out of loss and out of that suffering, I broke open even more deeply. And I was able to let so much more love into my life and more acceptance, and everything in my life deepened. So sometimes when we look at the things that at first were like, I didn't ask for this, in time you realize it was exactly what you needed in order to reunite with a deeper part of your being. Perhaps everything we all ever experience is just to point us back towards ourselves, towards our own truth. So this is a deeply reflective week. Oh, full of gratitude. Full of gratitude. And the flower in the bubble. So there's some sort of, it feels like a special gift, an offering from a feeling of grace as we reflect. May we hold such gratefulness for the things that we have journeyed through, for every feeling, every emotion, every thought, every word, every action from this past year. And may we hold it with sacred reverence. Interesting how they're both number 5. And the last one. Power. Oh my goodness, look. And this is the cover. Number 12, 3. That makes sense. As above, so below. Body, mind, spirit. We hold so much power in the sun. She's the queen of the sun. Wow. I see all of the zodiac and the wheel. There's a lot of changes that are taking place within the sun. Solar flares. I think we're going to have a lot of activity in the coming year. I think that this is a little bit of a sign that we have the power to hold such gratitude and reverence for the light within us and the light around us. And also, I'm getting a very strong energy of we're all going to be deeply, deeply reminded of our connection to the cosmos in the coming weeks, months, and years. And 2025 could very well be the year we look back and go, it's the year that changed everything. Where we decided we are going to be grateful for our journey and our place in the universe and our connectivity to all things. We are all made of stars. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. And I love that. There's a tender grace that's coming through these cards. I can't wait to read for each zodiac with this deck. There we go. I want to be too reflective. Okay. Let's now get into the tarot. Let's see what's going on. What's going on? All right. Surface energy, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, humility. I'm getting this humility coming forward. Humility on the path as we learn, students of life, slowing down our approach, slowing down the journey, long enough to be reflective, long enough to pause. No. And y'all, I just went through, I posted on Instagram, the magical chaos that is New York City. It snowed. We saw Anne Juliet. It was a memorable trip. My first time with my daughter in the city. Went with my bestie, who it was a master ninja navigator of the city because she was a Jersey girl. All you Jersey girls, hello. We were so thankful because she was I called her our personal GPS. She just knew where she was going. And we jumped on all kinds of subway trains. We saw it all. But if you have the chance to travel, it's really good for the soul. All right. There's the wheel. Oh, my goodness. And it came out. Look at that. We have the wheel. The wheel is turning. The hands of fate, our collective destinies, our individual destinies. There's a lot of change. A lot of change coming in. Our awareness is shifting. I'm not surprised the major arcana came flying out. Four of Cups, all right? This is looking at things from a positive place, not negative. Looking at the future with hopefulness this week. As we reflect, we could get stuck, right, in lack or things that didn't go our way this past year. What was incongruent must fall away. And there's a level of acceptance in that. So Spirit is saying, you know, the one predictability of life is that it's always going to change. So don't linger too long, right, in the shadows, in the halls of despair, because there is so much more to come. There's so much more to come. Yeah. And a lot of us at this time, we're looking at our energy, especially our emotional energy and the changes that we want to make in our perspective and the things that we really, really, really want. Seven of Pentacles is the energy, the time, the attention, and the care that we bring to our relational intelligence with others and also with the work we do out in the world. And saying to ourselves, is it really worth it? So whatever contrast, this feels like really being reflective of the contrast that you may be experiencing in some aspect of your life this week and saying to yourself, okay, am I putting my energy where I really should? Where it's going to benefit me the most? What's at the bottom? They're saying, look at the bottom. Bottom, Jenna. Okay, King of Swords, Ace of Cups, and the Star. No wonder. So this has a lot to do with the unification of our higher mind and our deepest heart's desires with the Ace of Cups and the Star. I mean, this is our mind and our hearts saying, yes, we are united. We are on board. This is the direction we're heading in. And what changes do I need to make in order to bridge the gap? And not looking at things from a reflective place of this is impossible or I can't or I won't. This is I will and I'm capable. And I'm seeing this. You can sit in, I'm getting this contrast here. You can sit in overthinking and allowing that energy to go into a lower vibrational state, a descending state, which, you know, a friend recently told me involution is necessary for evolution, right? We have to go down inward sometimes to pop back up like a cork, right? But that's our nature, right? If we get held down by circumstances, eventually if we let go, that cork will rise. Our consciousness will rise back up. So try not to hold on too tightly to anything into the depths, right, of the sea of our emotional state where we feel like victims. This is self-mastery. The Wheel of Fortune, where we are in control of our own destiny, where we are aligned, right, with the forces of the divine and the cosmos. I do believe a lot of us are making some really wise, intelligent decisions from the heart space and a lot of healing. Looking back at this past year and knowing I have a choice. We always have a choice. So this week, it feels very much like a time of deep inner reflection, a place where we grant ourselves a little bit of kudos, right, for the wisdom that we have gained in our hearts on our journey. In the cosmos as a collective and individually around what we really desire and the things that we need to heal. I want to clarify the Wheel and the Star. Those are the two strongest energies I'm seeing here. Let's clarify the Wheel and the Star now. We're going to go with the gold foil. Yeah. Why is the Wheel here for the weak, Spirit? Why is the Wheel here? Why is the Wheel here? And y'all, I missed you. I didn't read for 3 days, and it was kind of like, I miss it. I miss it when I'm not doing this work. I really do. Woo! Okay. Okay. Talking about truth, y'all. It's the reason why I read about truth. We have the Justice coming out in the Five of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. I think a lot of people are looking at what has been lost at this time. And I understand that. You know, if you've lost a loved one or a pet, it's a time to grieve. You know, it is. Suffering has its place. Loss has its place. If you look at the world from an eternal perspective, I was reading the other day, too, about how we have a frame of reference we can always lean on in times of great loss, where really, if you look at yourself from a soul perspective, this life is more like a dream. It's more like unreal, you know. It does but it feels so real, right? Because we can touch things and taste things and feel things. So I want to acknowledge here that there's been some difficulty in the karma, right? The karmic justice when it comes to whatever we've had to release and let go of. Sometimes it does feel unjust, the unfairness. I'm getting this strong sort of truth with this, though. Whatever has been lost, it's because it wasn't going to come together. So death is one thing, you all. It marks us permanently. It never leaves us fully. It's something that we cope with. What I'm getting here is our grievances that we hold against others and the need to look at things from the truth, right? The perspective of the goddess, the prophetess, the divine feminine, the truth. Don't linger too long in what has been lost when it comes to your connections. It needed to happen. That's why I spoke personally about my journey. It needed whatever, in time you will see that whatever needs to fall away, it does make room for something better, bigger, and deeper within you. Let's go into the star. Like I said, this is deeply reflective. We're looking back at everything this past year. And I know everyone watching this has had to lose something in order to gain wisdom. The Lovers. Love is all there is, you all. And I think I'm reminded of that every day. Even in the, the cold winter sky in New York City. Yeah. I think that we are determining with our star energy what needs to be healed. This is about our relational intelligence and the the friction. And many of us are seeing friends and family at this time, and stuff might come up. And grievances might be aired out. Things might be coming out of the woodwork. Let's exercise compassion, fierce compassion. Even when it's hard, we have to dig deep and hold a higher level of wisdom and understanding for others who may feel like they're in a completely different vibration. I'm getting that some of you have been dealing with contrast and that walk and dance of duality, because the Lovers is the choice that we make to love or to not to love. And are we going to give to this or not? Or should I just walk away? So a lot of us are looking at our relationships overall and reevaluating them at this time and wondering, is my cup still full here for this situation? What truth am I not telling myself? Am I being honest with myself and others around what's really going on and what needs to be healed? I think that this is healing amongst friends, healing amongst family members, healing the rifts, coming to mutual understanding, true forgiveness in the way you give and receive your heart. This is a very healing week ahead, okay, for all of us. And this is not just one connection, it could be many. Making peace with the past, making peace with the hurt. Okay. Healing is necessary. So wherever you have beef, if you want to energetically heal, you know what work you need to do. Sometimes it doesn't come down to even having a conversation. It's about having a conversation with the part of you that was in pain, that went through that hurt. You can talk to these parts. Right? You don't have to need the other person in front of you. Writing a letter helps as well. Writing everything that you need to say to this person and burning it. All right, so you can release it because we don't want to hold on to that stuff. All right, let's get into a few. I'm getting guided to go into a Keepers of the Light. because it's such an important spiritual week for all of us, I want to get whatever master wanted to come forward at this time to offer their wisdom. Ooh, we have 2. No, 3. Whoops. Oh, I'm making a mess of things. There we go. All right, we have Cernunos. I hope I'm saying that right. Life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Ooh, okay. Well, that was surprising. We did have the Lovers and the Ace of Cups, so some of people are feeling more activated, more fiery. I don't know what's going on astrologically, but maybe astrologer can tune into that. Maybe there's something going on this week that has a lot to do with our vital life force energy and the way we express that in a sensual, sexual way. We have Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things, which that's what we're doing. We're doing a lot of healing work around our connections. And Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. I knew truth was going to come out. So follow your intuition this week, because we're going through a very soul expansive time, and we're actually looking at where we're going to take our life force energy next in the new year. What's going to drive that passionate force? Who do we want by our side? What do we want to be doing? What do we want to be experiencing? So this is a time maybe to get down some thoughts on paper, or at least commune with your inner being and make some goals, set your course, right? Maybe map out your destination for the year ahead. Sometimes I just think of a general word I want to embody and I want to master that. It could be as simple as that. I want to read, they're guiding me to read the first one that came out, because I'm very curious about that. I'm just curious. What is this? Cernunos. Maybe I'm saying that. Let's see. I think that it might tell me how to pronounce this. And y'all can chime in if you know. Oh, I really massacred that. Cernunos. Okay, that's Cernunos. Also known as Herni, is a Celtic stag god who represents connection to the earth. He is one of the oldest recognized Celtic gods and features on the Gundlestrup cauldron, a giant silver vessel from the Iron Age. He's the lover of the Great Mother and impregnates the land so that it will be filled with life. He can help us form a connection with the animal spirits and ancestors of our land. This is a deep buildup of life force within you now, and a need to channel it into action. You may have extra energy or be more alert than usual, or be aware of a sense of increased sensual or sexual energy. If you have been unsure how this ties into your spiritual path, know that it can allow you to access the richness of your soul. When we're not expressing ourselves sexually, our spiritual potential can be tamed or muted. So if you're denying yourself a desire, interesting, because we did have Star and Ace of Cups. If you're denying yourself a desire, ask yourself how you can fulfill it. Ask Cernunos to help you access your sexual self so that you can express it with integrity and in a way that honors your soul. If you and your partner are trying for a child, and this card appears, fertility is very possible, especially if Bridget, Cernunos' twin flame, is present too. Okay, well, she's not, but interesting. So there's a lot of driving passion this week, especially around our soul expansion and our need to follow our own intuition around the expression of our desires in a very physical way for a lot of us. So maybe some of you are releasing some blocks around your lower chakras. Hey, has to be said. I'm just going to tell you what's coming through, but that was a very strong energy. So if you're like, wow, I'm feeling just more passion, it may be why, because that energy is very strong this week. Let's get some affirmations. All right, affirmations, a higher truth, which we had the King of Swords coming in, and justice. Focus on this week. I trust and align with my higher truth. I trust and align with my higher truth. Ooh, there might be a higher truth around the desires around something new. There's something new coming in for a lot of people. It's a new frequency of desire, of love, of fulfillment. Deep, deep fulfillment. Union. Forgive. And I was talking about that in our relationships. I open my heart to forgive myself and others. There's a lot of things happening this week for the collective, and be grateful. Another repeating message. I'm grateful for the life I created and am creating. I feel one more coming in. And believe in magic. I feel magic all around me. Yeah. You know what? You can create a magical life if you believe in it. I personally have had a lot of magical things happening to me lately, and both in my spiritual practice and in my connections. And I don't know what's next, but I'm trying to remain open and present with it and not project, not get too caught up, and be ever mindful of just the experience of it in the here and now. We have a tendency to latch onto attachment and expectation in equal measure, wanting to force a reality that will be our ultimate wish and desire. I want to encourage you to allow things to be the way they are and the way they present themselves, and enjoy it when it arrives so you can fully experience it. All right, now let's get into Mark Nepo. Let's get into Mark Nepo to close this off. This is for December 23rd, the Book of Awakening. And I'm going to continue to read from this because it's going to be a different day in the new year with the date. December 23rd, a surety of roots. You didn't come into this house so I might tear off a piece of your life. Perhaps when you leave, you'll take something of mine. Chestnuts, roses, or a surety of roots. Oh, that's what I mean. Wow. Wow. Talk about, God. Pablo Neruda. I love Pablo. So intimate. Perhaps the most stubborn thing that keeps us from knowing love is distrust. Certainly, we have more than enough reason in our world to be cautious, alert, and guarded against being hurt or taken advantage of. But the fact remains that in spite of all the news and terrible stories that we pass on at parties, there's no other doorway into kindness and all its gifts but through the gentle risk to open ourselves, however slightly, and try. The question we must ask, that I ask myself every day, is which is more deliberate, sorry, I want to skip this word, which is more debilitating? To be cut off from love? To be cut off from love? Or to be scarred by the pain of being hurt? It's a choice, isn't it? Wow. What makes Neruda such a great poet is the largeness of his heart. And through his large kindness, he suggests that giving heals. And until we step into that space between each other and try, nothing can happen. But once we do, giving and receiving become the same. And we all grow stronger for going there together. Center yourself and bring to mind 3 small gifts you are willing to give away. There may be tangible or symbolic or gestures of kindness. They may be tangible or symbolic or gestures of kindness. Wrap each gently in your breathing. Bring these gifts with you into your day and your week. Before you come home, give them away. Gosh, which is more debilitating, to be cut off from love or to be scared by the pain of being hurt? To risk vulnerability. Wow. Well, you all, I feel kind of silenced by that. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. That concludes our portion for the reading. Namaste. May it be a beautiful week for you ahead. I'm going to be continuing on with the yearly annual readings for each zodiac, chipping away at those when I feel the energies arise. I may go into the first few days of January, first week of January, to get those out properly. But, you know, these things can't be rushed. And I'm very much looking forward to doing a monthly overview for you all. I have not done that in quite some time, as I skipped December because I started bringing you weekly messages or 10-day messages. So that's what's next, you all. I'm so grateful for you all, for Spirit, for walking together here in such beauty, in such depth. I've learned so much from you all, from your comments, and many of you are such beautiful masters of love, of joy, of peace. May you go out and you continue to touch the hearts of others who are still asleep. And may you deepen even more to your eternal nature. I am doing readings. I also want to recommend a fellow soul traveler on the path. She's offering a special for the holidays. I believe it's a 30-minute reading for the upcoming year in astrology for $100. Her name is Kristen Fontana. Her link is on my site. She's the only astrologer I recommend. She helped me awaken at 31, my first reading, and it changed my life. So if you're looking for a tarot reading, I'm available. Or if you want an astrology reading, seek her out. All the information is in the description box below. Sending love.